Alright, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we will learn on chapter 6, which is regarding planning and protocol. Okay. So let's take a look on what we are going to learn for today. So first we are going to um, we are going to discuss on how to develop a mission or purpose statement of an event. So it is basically regarding how we are going to know the objective, the purpose, and what is basically something related to our event, and then explain on the titles or protocol of an event. So how we are going to address people, and at the same time, we want to know the flow of the event or how the event works in order, and then discuss the concept of the protocol in event management. Okay, so now we want to take a look on the mission or purpose statement. So what is it all about? Okay, so mission basically describe clearly and concisely why the organization exists, because we want to know its purpose. Okay, the purpose, you are eating the food because you are hungry. Okay, so the mission statement defines what it is important to the organization and guides that the organization's decision and also activities. So the mission statement basically, uh, it is something that we want to know. Okay, this is our firm and this is our final decision. We want to have, or we want to generate more revenue during our event. So we know that the mission we create this event, it is basically we want to have more revenue. Okay, so basically for this mission or purpose statement, it answers three or sometimes four basic questions about the organization. The first one, whom does the organization serve? Okay, so your organization or that particular event company, you serve which customer? Okay, so what is the preference of your customer? What is the profile of the customer? Okay, and then number two, what does the organization do? Okay, so if you are an event company or you are a company that really seek for revenue, so what does you do? Okay, so what did you do or what do you do for your business in order for you to create or to get more money or revenue for your organization? And then why does the organization do it? Why you do that event? So first, maybe you said, oh, because of I want to create or I want to generate revenue. Number two, maybe because of I want people to know more about my brand, or um, I want people know more about my branding. So that is the purpose of why you are going to do this event. Okay, and then number four, it is quite optional. Basically, how does the organization do it? Okay, so how you are going to do that event? Are you going to do a yearly event or annually? Annually and the yearly is quite the same. A monthly event, weekly event, or daily event, it's up to you. Okay, so it's only you and your organization know what is the mission and the purpose of conducting an event. Okay, so next we move on to the purpose, goals, and objective. So is it the same? Purpose, goals, and objective. Okay, so let's take a look. As for purpose, it is the big picture objective that should guide all the business decision. So purpose is one common big thing. And then we narrow down into goal. It is more specific and the best goals support the purpose. So the purpose of we are eating, okay? So we are hungry. So if we are hungry, so we need to find food. Okay. So the purpose now, we wear a proper clothes. We wear tudung because we want to go out and we want to seek some food. Okay, because we are starving. All right. So the purpose, we are um, wearing a nice clothes. So in order for us to go out and buy some food. Okay. This is a simple simulation and simple example. Okay, And then objective create the roadmap to achieving the goals. Objective are more specific than goal, and they should be written in detail to define the narrow, measurable, and tangible result you hope to hear for your event that will produce. Okay, so I complete my simulation here. So the purpose, you are wearing nice clothes, and then goals, you want to go to a restaurant for buying the food, and then after you reach certain places and then you don't know nak makan apa banyak betul lah restoran, then suddenly something pop up in your mind. You say, I want to eat ayam gunting. So that is considered as a very narrow objective. So you said, in order to satisfy my craving, I want to eat ayam gunting, and at the same time I want to eat kuih keria. Oh my God, sedapnya. Okay, so objectives are more specific than goals. So it is very specific. If you know why you are conducting that particular event, it is basically to know that you are doing that event because to achieve your objective. It is basically to achieve the purpose, narrow down to goals, and the most tiny or the most compact things is you want to achieve your objective. Okay, for example here, if your goal is to reach potential university applicants, your objective could be to distribute 200 campus information flyers or to collect 50 email address from interested students. Okay, so your goal here is to reach potential university applicants. You want to get more people to apply for the course of program in your university. So what you need to do here is you need to distribute at least 200 information flyers, or you need to collect 50 email address. Okay, so that is the most simple example that I can give to you. Okay, is that clear? Right. Okay, so next we move on to event proposal. So event proposal is a written proposal presented from a vendor that is intended to elicit business from a prospective buyer. Okay, here, for this kind of event proposal, basically it is something that we are going to propose to our client. It is not like us as the one who is going to have a proposal to create an event. No, it is basically for this one, we are going to learn on how we are getting or we are preparing the event proposal for our client. Okay, so next, brainstorm. 2 or more minds often work better than one. So of course, we need to brainstorm with many people because sometimes we are stuck somewhere. When we stuck somewhere, we don't have any ideas. So we need someone will always give or brainstorm on, we need to explain something with them. Okay, so get all team members involved, for example, business colleague, friends or family. If you are sole trader or very small business, you need to consider all the ideas presented and work out the best ones to add into your proposal. So you need to brainstorm with everyone, you need to discuss with everyone without knowing or without care on their what we call that, on their title. So you need to brainstorm with everyone. Okay, so we don't know, maybe we can get a genuine idea from our team member. Okay, so how we are going to write an event proposal? So the amount of detail required in the event proposal will depend on the scale and importance of the event. However, event proposals generally share many common components. The information that event proposal should convey include, but is not limited to, the following. So I have listed down 5 things that we need in order for us to prepare or write an event proposal for bidding. Okay, so the first one, description of the event. Number 2, experience of the event bidder, which is considered us as the event bidder. Number 3, venue and facilities offered. Number 4, the event program. And number 5, request for the proposal. Okay, as for number 1, details of the event. So you must not rely on the title of the event alone to explain its purpose. So sometimes the title of that particular event is quite general, too general. So you have to make lots of homework you need to do, or you need to search more information regarding your event, and you need to describe the main participant target groups. For example, you want to do a sporting event, so you know, okay, the main participant or the target group for my sporting event is participant from Southeast Asia countries, athletes from Southeast Asia. So you know, oh, basically this is known as SEA Games, for example. Okay, if the event is somewhat unusual, one or two sentences that provide the reader with mental picture of what the event will be. Meaning here, you need to at least give a description or brief description of your event so that people will know, okay, maybe you said here, I want to do an e-sport event. So people don't know because it's too general. What kind of e-sport event that you want to do? What kind of event or what kind of sporting event that you want to do? So that's why you need to give some details of the event. Okay. So number 2, experience of the event bidder. So the organization or entity bidding for event should extol its experience and capability. So basically, in a simpler words, it is the time for you to sell yourself. Menjual diri in Malay, what people say, but not menjual, but it is something, or it is the time for you to boast yourself. You need to make someone or people or the event bidder, they know about you. Okay, so it is crucial that whoever assess the bids firmly believe that the bidding organization will be able to put on a good show. Okay, so if you have certain or you have a bit experience on event bidding, so you need to show up. You need to boost up your mood, or you need to boost up your experience in order for other people, for other bidder, they know and they are aware about you. Okay, so the proposal should contain such information about the event management experience of the proposed event team. Okay, so the proposal must have a brief information about the event that you want to propose. So if experience in staging event is limited, then it is useful to mention any managerial, project management, or coordination experience in any other field. Okay, so qualifications of people in the event management team may also prove useful to mention. So that's why I said this is the time for you to jual diri kepada event bidder. So you need to highlight yourself. Okay. So number 3, we have venues and facilities offered. So the proposal should outline all facilities available at the venue, everything from toilets to car parking. So you need to include everything regarding the venue and facilities, so that when people when people look to your proposal, they will say, wow, this is so great, man, like that. Okay, so as for indoor events, you need to always remember to include for the types of surface, lighting, air conditioning, seating, and also electronic equipments, and so on. So as for indoor events, these are the things, or these are the facilities that is very important, because they want to know if you have a sufficient facilities provided for that particular event. As for outdoor events, the level of maintenance on turf, seating and shading for spectators, fencing, drainage, and flood lighting, it's really important, because as for outdoor events, there might be something regarding the regarding to the weather that is always involved in this particular event, especially for outdoor event. Okay, so for outdoor, maybe because you don't have any building, so it is important to have seating and shading for spectators, because the spectators they will be at your event for quite long time. Okay, so it is important to have a comfortable seating and also a good shading for your spectators. Okay, fencing is important in order for you to control the crowd, drainage, and flood, and so on. Okay, so the number of change room and their condition for teams or participants, especially for sporting event, is always important. So you need to have quite a number of change rooms so that they won't have any problems with the crowd like that. It is often worthwhile to include a map or floor diagram. So photograph of key features of the venue may exist. So you need to have a very clear, a proper photograph, something that is really good to see. Okay, and then there needs to be a detailed description of what would be attractive to event goers and how the venue will fully cater for the needs of the event, including performers, officials, and also spectators. So you need to put everything inside your proposal. So you need to have performers. For example, you said, okay, we are going to invite VVVVVIP or the most famous or number one singer in Malaysia. Who is number one singer in Malaysia? You will answer that later. Okay, so don't forget to include information about public transport to the venue and car parking to those who arrive by car. So you need to have an ample space, a good space of parking, because if it's quite hard for them to find the parking space, it will lead to frustration. Okay, and if the venue has staged similar events in the past, you should make mention of this. Sorry. Okay, for example, Stadium Bukit Jalil. So Stadium Bukit Jalil has known as a venue that have been organizing lots of events. So you need to put a list, or you need to make a list, a long list for that kind of place, so that you say, okay, these are the events, or these were the events that has been held at this venue, so that people know, oh, they have conducted or they have organized so many events at this venue. So this venue is accessible. This venue is quite good for everyone. Okay, so that is really, really important for you to have a very good venue, and you need to have you need to include every facilities that have in that particular venue. All right, so next one, the event program. So if you have a good venue but you don't have a good program, so it may lead to frustration to your spectator and also participants. Okay, so what you are going to do, the host club organization has little or no say in setting the competition program when the date or dates that have been set by the sport governing body. But at the initial stage of bidding, the event proposal or the event bidder, you yourself, may suggest a competition program in terms of number of days and the start and finish time each day, and the decision makers to know how many hours a day the venue is available. So at the initial stage or at the beginning of the event program, so you will propose maybe for SEA Games, you said, okay, it's a month program, or it's a month event, so that the event bidder, so they know, oh, okay, basically this event will take around 30 days to complete. So what are the activities from day by day? Where will these athletes go? So you need to cater everything day by day itinerary. You need to insert the event program from day 1, day 2, what happened, day 3, what happened, until day 30, until the end of your event. Okay, so consider the program should also include ceremonial events with visiting dignitaries who make speeches or present awards. So you need to have an opening ceremony. Normally, for a sporting event, they will have a very huge and grand opening ceremony. This is because you need to catch the attention of the medias all over the world. Okay, and also propose entertainment extras that may start or finish the program or fill any gaps. So it is important to have a very good entertainers, because these entertainers will always create or boost up the mood of your participants and also spectators. Right. So number 5, we have event budget. So Event budget, basically you need to draft a budget of probable income or expenditure. So as for event budget, it is important to have because you need to determine what kind of budget that you are going to use for the proposal. Okay, so it is important that such a budget is realistic, and therefore some care and consideration needs to be given to suggesting sponsors that have not yet formalized any sponsorship agreement. So it is the time basically you need to check, oh, maybe we are going to organize an event cost around 500 millions. So you need to always ukur baju di badan sendiri because you don't have you don't need any bombastic budget, which is something that you cannot measure and you cannot grab that opportunity. Okay, so the event budget should not show a loss when all projected income and expenditure has been taken into account. So you need to have always to show a positive flow of the event. So if there are any negative vibes or negative something regarding the budget, you need to sweep under the carpet. I'm just joking. Okay, so if you win the bid, you may be entitled to an amount of funding from the governing body to alleviate certain costs that will it likely be incurred. Normally, the government of that particular event bidder, the government of that bidder will pump some money in order for them to be recognized as for your event. Okay, additional income from additional income from merchandising can be added as form of income. So if you are about to create or you are going to sell some merchandise regarding your event, so it will become one source of income to your event and it will cover the cost of your event. Okay, so next we move on to event protocol. So it's quite different. We are getting or we are having a different protocol for each and different event. Okay, so protocol is basically a diplomatic and political terms that refers to appropriate behavior and rules of conduct for a particular situation or event. So protocol can also be more sophisticated word to use to denote appropriate actions or rule in business. So next, protocol can also be used as a verb, meaning to draw up, to issue a protocol, but it is most often used to refer to rules or convention. And next, protocol includes the proper way of addressing dignitaries to the way to dress for an event. And the last one, protocol is a set of traditional practices that have long been accepted and used when dealing with and meeting with others. So if you are conducting a formal event, you need to have a very good protocol. Okay, so the first one, it is a protocol of inviting guests. So first, you need to invite them well in advance, at least 3 months before the event. Why? You need to check, they need to check, the invitees need to check if their schedule is free or not to attend your event. So that's why you need to invite them very in advance, okay, at least 3 months from the event, so that they will block your date. Sorry, they will block the date just for you. Okay, so a verbal contact followed by written confirmation is appropriate. It is basically it's a must. Okay, so after you have a call or after you make a call to someone to invite them to attend to your event, so that is when you need to give a written confirmation, because normally people will always forget what they speak or what they spoke to you. Okay, so you need to have a written confirmation, send email or maybe send WhatsApp, and also follow up 1 or 2 days prior to ensure all arrangements are in order. So after you are sending a written confirmation, maybe it was 2 or 3 months ago, so you need to follow up. My event is in this coming Sunday. Are you coming to my event? So you need to always follow up. They will always say, sorry, I forgot. I have another things coming up. So can I confirm with you later? For example. Okay. So what you need to discuss with the guy with the guest is the purpose of the visit. For number one, the purpose of the visit. why they need to come to your event. And then number 2, time allocated for the visit. So is it half day? Is it for only 1 hour, or is it for only 3 hours, or maybe it's a full day event? So you need to give them time allocation. So you need to inform them. Okay, so it is a long event or just a short event. And then number 3, who will cover expenses for transport, meals, parking, and accommodation? So are you going to be the one who cover all the expenses, or it is their own expenses? And then number 4, provision of a meal for their spouse. So you need to check, is there any extra meals for their spouse or not? Okay, and then number 5, is there any special needs that they need for food or equipment? They need something, if something that is related to food, maybe they have certain allergies, or equipments, maybe they need extra equipments. Okay, and then number 6, indicate appropriate breaths. So you need to give, you need to inform them so that they are not the one who being so awkward, or awkward, sorry, awkward when they are going to your event. Okay, so for example, you said, okay, the theme for our event is basically traditional. So the event, or the guest will know, okay, so now we are going to wear a traditional dress, for example. Okay, and then number 7, does the guest require transportation or accommodation? Maybe you are inviting guests from other country, you are inviting guests from other regions. So that's why, do they need any transportation, or do they need any accommodation in order for them to come to your event? Okay, so these are the things and many other things that you need to always discuss with your guests in order for them to invite them prior. Okay, so next, protocol for addressing a person. So as for gentlemen, okay, the most considerable and acceptable salutation is sir. Okay, so sir is generally considered as an acceptable alternative to the formal address in both written and spoken greetings. So the use of madam or ma'am for a female addressee is acceptable. So whether he is married or not, so um, it is a good thing for you to always address them as madam, okay, or ma'am. Okay, and then this rule does not apply to religious or title person. Okay, so if they are having a religious title like Haji or Haja, so maybe you are going to call them Haja. I have this one example. During this event, I really don't know. So it was back then in 2010. So that was my first time conducting an event. So at that time, I don't know. I really don't know that lady is someone with higher salutation. So I always call her as Puan, like that. So I don't know Puan. So when she came to our booth, so she said, okay, it's quite annoyed. It's quite annoying basically, but it's okay. Okay, so she came to our booth. She sat down and then she said, okay, next time never call me Puan, okay? I am a Datin doctor, Dr. Datin or Datin doctor, like that. So I was shocked at that time. So I said, oh, I'm so sorry, Datin. I didn't know you are Datin. So immediately she threw me her business card. So I don't know. It is a very bad attitude, but it's just an example that I want to give you. That first one, you need to always respect people. So for me, Puan or Madam is a formal greetings when I want to speak to other people. But as for certain people, for them, you need to address their title, Datin or Doctor, which is, I don't know, maybe that sign has been written on her forehead. I don't know. Okay, so for greetings, in which Mr. is used for men, normally when we are greeting, so we are going to call Mr. or Sir, like that. The feminine equivalent for madam For madam, you can always call Mrs., Miss, or MS, Miss lah. Okay, and then there is no formal rule for the use of Miss. The presence of the addressee should be respected. Some people, they may look old and they are not preferred to be called as madam or ma'am. So they are comfortable is if you call her as Miss. So you need to always respect to their decision, whether Miss or Madam or someone else, or maybe they call they say, okay, just call my name. So you need to call their name, or you say, apology, I'm so sorry, I need to call you, or I need to address you as Miss, because it's quite inappropriate for me to call you by name like that. Okay. So next, dress for formal occasion. So normally the appropriate dress for formal occasion should be included in the invitation. This might include business attire for formal day function, black or white tie for formal evening events. Name badges should be worn on the right side. So name badge like name tag. Okay, so that when the hand is extended for a handshake, the name badge is easily readable. So for example, I have a name tag like my name is Fatima. So when I offer a handshake to another woman, so they will, or that particular woman will see my name. Oh, Siti Fatima. Okay. So these are the examples of a formal attire, right? So next, protocol for speakers. So how the speakers will speak during an event. So speakers need to be briefed in advance and provided with a list of the guests to be welcomed in order of precedence. The timing and the length of speeches need to be discussed with the speakers before the event and must also be canvassed with the chief. So you need to always check for the salutation, for the titles. So you need to check if the spelling or the pronunciation of that particular name is correct or not. Okay. So next, seating protocol. So seating protocol is really, really important. Correct seating arrangement for occasions such as awards ceremonies and formal dinners must be observed by the event organizer. Precedence at table can lead to hurt feelings and indignation among families as well as diplomats. Okay, so once you have determined who has the higher rank, it is just a matter of placing people around that table. So you need to check whether they have a higher rank or a lower rank. So it is quite important. Right. So this is the example when they are having some discussion, our previous or ex-prime minister with Sultana Bolkiah of Sultan Brunei. Okay, so this is the 5 rules on sitting for formal dinner. So first one, when there is a single table, the host and hostess usually sit at the opposite end. So if I sit here, so the host will sit in front of me. Okay, and then number 2, when the multiple tables are needed, the host and hostess may be at separate tables. We need to have a separate tables. So number 3, the highest ranking male generally sits to the right of the hostess. So the wife of the highest ranking man or the highest ranking woman herself sits to the right of the host. Okay, they will not always sit next to their spouse. Okay, so number 4, no 2 women sat side by side and no 2 men sat by side because they will have a long chit chat together. So number 5, married people are never seated side by side, but those engaged are seated side by side whenever possible. This one I am not so sure what. Okay, and then number 6, the ranks of various persons is determined by the presidents. Right. So we move on to the table manners. I'm so sorry about my coffee. So sit at the table facing the placement with arm close to your side. So you need to sit like this, not to sit like this. Okay. So bite-sized pieces and place onto fork, meaning just put or you cut your food into a small pieces. Okay. So you not need for you to 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 have a fork on a large size of food. Okay, so do not place too much food on your fork, number 3. And then when eating food, chew the food with your mouth closed and never talk while eating. No, it's not good like that. Okay, so you need to chew your food and then you digest your food and then you will talk if necessary. Okay, so do not wave your cutlery while you are eating. For example, now you are eating. So, hey, yeah. So never wave your cutlery. Okay, and then if eating soup or any food that is liquid, avoid slurping the food. Like that. No, it is inappropriate. If the food is hot, you can gently blow on it so you can cool it. And then be mindful of other guests. Avoid talking too loudly. Do not smoke at the table. This is a formal dinner. And lastly, do not speak on the mobile phone while at the table. So if you need to have or you need to take that particular call, so you need to get up and go to another place. Okay, so next one, religious and cultural protocol. So this is an example for Royal Palace Customs and Etiquette for Malaysian. On being presented to His Majesty Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Her Majesty the Raja Permaisuri Agong, you should stand straight with both feet together, straighten up both hands, and pay your respect by bowing once. Not you bow too low like the Japanese do, okay? So you walk slowly towards His Majesty. So the distance between yourself and His Majesty should be about 2 or 3 feet. And then you bow again. So as Muslim, you should say Assalamualaikum Tuanku. And for non-Muslim, they can say Selamat Pagi or Selamat Petang or Selamat Tengah Hari, whichever is applicable. And then after that, you need to take about 3 steps backward and bow again. So that is basically a cultural protocol. Okay. So next one is protocol for sporting. This is example for Olympic. So the first one, the entrance of the host country head of states, and then they are playing the national anthems of the host country, and then they will have the parade by all the participants from all the countries that is going to involve in Olympic. And number 4, the symbolic release of doves. Okay. So number 5, the opening of the games by the host country head of state. And number 6, the Olympic anthem played as the Olympic flag is brought into the stadium and hoisted. And then number 7, the Olympic oath taken by an athlete. And the next one, the Olympic oath taken by an official. And the Olympic oath taken by the coach. And number 10, the final leg of the Olympic torch. Really the lighting of the cauldron. And the last one, the artistic program. So this is basically on the beginning of the Olympic protocol. Okay, so next one. So national flags. So this is the Malaysian national flags. So the national flag should never be flown above country's flag on the same staff of this would suggest superiority or conversely inferiority of one flag or nation over another. So always remember the national flag is at the highest. So the Malaysian flag should never be allowed to drag along the ground. Okay, so a tattered or faded flag of Malaysian should be removed immediately and replaced with a new flag. Due care and consideration must be taken to ensure that Malaysian flag is always flown the correct way up. So tak boleh lah you punya flag tu terbalik, which is the bulan and bintang dekat bawah, tak boleh. Okay, so a flag of Malaysia when in such condition that is no longer a fitting emblem of display, should be destroyed in a dignified way, preferably by burning in private with all due care and respect. So half staff or half mast, the Malaysian flag is hoisted to half of the potential height of flagpole to denote grief or mourning. Okay, so next, how we are going to have a protocols for flying, flag flying. Okay, so the national flag should be hoisted at the height of a suitable manner, and whenever the flag is hoisted, it should be occupy the position of honor and be distinctly placed. Okay, so the national flag should never be flown above other country, like I mentioned earlier. So number 4, when the practice is to fly the flag on any government building, when the flag is displayed horizontally or at angle from the window or balcony of the building. So the moon and the star must be at the uppermost. Okay, so it must be at the top of the building. Okay, so and then number 6, when the flag is flown during a public meeting, the speaker should face the audience and the flag should be displayed behind and to the right of the speakers. Okay, and then number 7, when the flag is carried in a procession of a parade, it should be held in the right hand. So never bring a flag in your left hand. So number 8, if there is a line of other flags, the national flag should be in the middle. And number 9, no other flag should be hoisted higher than national flag. And number 10, the flag should not be used to cover or decorate the speaker's desk during any meeting. So I have the questions. During our Independence Day, Hari Kemerdekaan, so we can see lots of people using bendera, our national flag, and they creatively cut the national flag into, and they design into a dress, songkok, tudung, like one. Is it appropriate to have that particular design or not? Okay, so please answer my question. Okay, so lastly, the flag should not be displayed or fastened in a manner which might we are going to damage that particular flag. Okay, so we need to always respect our national flag whenever we go, whenever we are, and whenever it takes. Okay, so I think that's all for me for this chapter. So I will meet you again for another chapter. Thank you very much, and bye bye.